trust in Him, and He wants them to obey the commandments, live by it. It might not be that their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, the generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit not steadfast with God. This is saying, He don't want this generation coming up to be rebellious like the generation that was in the past, that He was in the past, stubborn and rebellious, and refusing to give their heart to God. I know I'm going too fast, but
you're doing good. You're doing good.
I don't want to be like nobody.
Be yourself.
Be
yourself.
I can't explain it like y'all explain it. I ain't trying to explain it.
That's right.
The writer, who is the writer? Okay, where did David get his writer right there? Okay, so God used David to do each people. And who else?
Not only Israel people, we are chosen people.
Okay, even though we're sinners, we also, all we is chosen people, even though we're sinners. So now David is given the word by God because God loved us so much, and then to do what? To reach out to those who are lost. So would you say that no matter what we do, God still loves us?
Yeah, He just loves us.
So now He said, verse 1 says, give ear. Who is He talking to give ear to?
Chosen.
Are we the chosen ones?
Yes.
Now, here David says, give ear. What do you mean by ear?
He wants you to listen.
Okay.
Okay.
Want you to listen?
Now, when He says give ear, He wants you for their attention, or He wants your heart?
Yes, for their attention.
For their attention. Okay, so now, what do you mean by mouthpiece?
Everybody is chosen.
Everybody.
Now, we get to my law. What does law do for us today?
You're supposed to obey it. Abide by it.
So if I disobey His law, what will happen?
Disobedient. You disobey the law, you go to jail.
He just explained it. It's just exactly what He's saying. It's exactly what He's saying. And another thing law does, law helps us to govern our spirit. Because if I go out there and drive my car, and if the speed limit is said was 45, that means I could drive it as fast as I want to. But because it says 45, that means that I got to govern my spirit to drive this car 45. And that's what God is telling us here now in this word today, is that we need to govern ourselves and be obedient. Now, when we say obedient, Minister Alvin, it's a little word, and we make this hard to do. Obeying God. Man obeys everything but God. Y'all know that? They obey the laws. They obey their mama, their daddy. But when it comes to God, they don't want to obey God and do what God says.
But the Bible said that the spirit, that the flesh is an enemy against God. That there's no good thing that dwell in this flesh. So for our flesh to be obedient to God, it first have to be crucified. They have to die. Because flesh cannot become subject, but the spirit can. And the only way that's going to happen is you have to be in the spirit. See, because anytime you in the flesh, you're going to operate in the flesh. Even by Tina getting up there teaching today, that's spirit. It's not flesh. You know, that's why she's able to say what she said. I'm being myself. I'm doing, what I'm capable enough to do. And all. But yet at the same time, even as Minister Alvin was talking about the law, we're not actually under the law, but we under grace. You know, now we are, back in those days, if we were still under the law, a lot of us would be dead right now. Because back then, the law, you know, when Jesus came, now we are saved by grace. See, because, you know, man, back then, the law, man, was strictly born for sin.
Now, this is out. I asked Sister Wright a question, I think you remember. What the law does is do two things. The law can hurt you, and it can do some damage to you. Amen. And I thought about what the law can. You know, if you don't understand the law, it can damage you. Well, if you understand the law, it helps you. In other words, the law tells us, thou shalt not steal. If you go and kill somebody and don't understand it, it hurts you. But when you understand you shouldn't kill nobody, it helps you. Amen. And so here I was explaining it to her, and I tell her, you know, look at it in a way where you understand it for yourself. Amen. Because when we try to satisfy everybody else but satisfy God, we gonna make a mistake. So when we identify it for ourselves, I tell everybody, I can't be nobody but Alpha. Amen. But the only thing I teach her when she reads where she can get a connection with God herself. Don't worry about you make a mistake, because you got to understand we have leaders. We have a headship to come and help us. It's not all about beating you down.
I want to say this here. Not only that right there, God gave each one of us our own revelation. So, you know, the way God may proceed it with Tina may not proceed the way with me, but it line up the same thing. But it's the way God He reach everyone in a different way. So, you know, God may wake me up in the morning, talk to me. God may flash a vision to Tina driving to work. But it can also be the same thing, but just a different revelation, how God will come to you. You know, just like we just said, how you and Tina get up and how y'all talk and go over the Bible and how you was telling her and everything. That's the way now God give you to go to her. Now, God may not give it to her to come to you like that. You know, she may come to you and tell you should know.
And I tell her, you know, it's not a point of you being wrong. God's not looking at us at our wrong. He's looking at us, are we trying?
Are we trying?
Amen. And I tell a lot of people, don't worry about you falling, but worry about you pursuing after the truth. Amen. Because if we actually look at everybody in here, we still got faults in us. But the problem is not looking at our faults. The problem is what we're going to do once we go through that problem and situation to get to the next level. Amen. And I see here where, and I was telling her, you know, here, and I just was throwing a nut, you know, giving it to her. And so I explained it to her here where God was dealing with rebellion in his own people. Amen. And here they was rebelling, but God still reached out to them and showed mercy and kindness to them. But the problem that the people we have today, we don't want to hear. We always want to be a doer, but don't want to hear from who?